that's another variable to put in. The results, I didn't share the results because it's like a little boring, but the thing about the observational study is, with an observational study, the data you get is not statistically significant, so the stats kid will know. And what that means is you can't take that data and make correlations, and we all know correlations does not equal causation, so I didn't even share it because, just in case there are any professionals and then be like, Yeah. With most of the mental tests we were, the physical tests I actually got better with Leslie, but I feel like with cardio, it's just the more you work out, the more you run, the better you get at it. Same with lifting weights. So, getting a little buff, what can I say?
Jill, how would the town get that program going if they don't have it already?
So we have a website online called boxkids.org, and you would go and you would read about it, and then there's like a get box in our school kind of button, and you would click that and you would fill out kind of a form explaining your situation or what you want, and we don't really discriminate against schools. And then once you come to us, or we'll seek you out, we'll come, we'll talk to your principal, we'll talk to parents, we'll see if there's any interest in it, and then we'll make it happen. So we have a couple sessions, we have fall and spring, and you can choose one, you can choose both, and so more kids can do it, less kids can do it, but we don't really discriminate, and we find them or they find us. We have a website. And through Reebok it helps too, because Reebok's pretty known.
What do you think Reebok's, how do they benefit from the
How do they
box?
what?
How does Reebok as a company benefit from having this program? That must cost them a lot of money,
Good
right?
publicity. They give us money, which is nice. I mean, we're a nonprofit, so we don't, the people that work at Reebok, at Box are paid, but we are a nonprofit as in we don't charge the kids for the classes, and we don't have endless oceans of money like Reebok isn't going to give us a lot. We've benefited by having this Active Kids Day and getting that on the board, and we've benefited through Reebok by getting all of these Patriots players to come and getting a lot of people and trying to get kids more active. The goal is obesity, and we're not afraid of working with like Nike and a bunch of other companies if we all have the same goal. It's not like we're selfish like that, so that's good. It's interesting to see. No, there's actually some schools in Japan that are putting the box program in. So we have Japan, we have some Arizona, Washington, D.C. I think that's it for now, and we're trying to grow. So it'd be cool with Japan.
And Jill, if the kids are coming from an inner city where they're probably taking a bus, so how do they get to school to get to the program if it's before school?
That is the thing that's not the best about it. It's they have to get there. The buses haven't figured that out yet, and I don't think the program is big enough for buses to start doing that, but that's not to say that if 80% of the school wants to do the box program, then they'll have the buses come earlier. And we've only started in 2009, so it's been a little less than 4 years. And so we're still pretty new, and more kids are doing it each year, so hopefully the buses will get on top of it, and maybe soon they'll have a gym program too. And people are getting ideas for box and doing other things with that too. So it's fun, it's new, and it's growing. Anyone else have a question?
Actually, a couple days ago, I told Jonah I had like this weird thing where I was standing there, and then I felt like weak suddenly and nauseous, and I think it was fatigue or something. Plus, my left eye has been spazzing out like crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm messing myself up for good, but it's worth it.
How many hours of sleep did you normally get before?
So what we do is baseline and then deprivation. So baseline is just 6 to 8, right? Usually 8 to 9, but For the first week of deprivation was 1 hour off of that, so it would be, 5 to 7. And then the next, it would baseline again, so we could, not die. And then the next week of deprivation was 4 to 5 hours, actually. And that was over April break. So, sleepy.
Mr. Murphy, do you have a question?
I missed your presentation, so
Oh,
I came in at the end, so.
it's okay.
I had a question, Jill. You seem to be in a real leadership role in the program. Was that something they offered you, or something the initiative you took to kind of, the way you presented it? It seemed like you were in charge of a lot.
There are only 5 ladies in the program, and there's a lot that each woman has to do, and there's one that's the school coordinator, which is putting our program in the schools. One is dealing with all the trainers, one is dealing with all the kids, and I think that they just needed a steady person to go visit all the schools, and it's a fun job, but it's not mentally strenuous. Like, I just kind of go and I just make sure that everything's going well, and it's cool because I think I have the best job out of all of them, and I'm the intern at like the bottom of the totem pole, but I like it, and I think I kind of connect the most. Like, I'll go to the schools and I'll deal with the kids, and then I can go back to the women that work at Reebok and tell them about the kids, and I think that I'm that chain that they were looking for. So even though it's a leadership role, I think I'm helping everybody by doing it
As a leadership work.
as a leadership. It's ongoing until the spark ends. But, I mean, when school's over, they don't have the box program anymore. It'll start back up in the fall. But we work all summer trying to improve, and we have trainings all the time to get more people certified. Anyone can be a trainer. You get paid $30 an hour, which is pretty nice, too.
So do you see any work for you, Jill, in terms of like this corporate social responsibility?
I don't see corporate, like, in the future for me at all. I've always been interested in the law, and I'm going to school in Washington, D.C. For that reason almost. And I do like the idea of mixing kind of juvenile and law together, because I do really like kids, and I work in an elementary school here also, and I really like to mix the two together. And I know there are a lot of opportunities in D.C. between guardian or juvenile defense or whatever, so it should be interesting. I definitely like the kid route, and I'm glad I did this, but it was almost a learning process for me, because I am interested in nutrition and health, but I'm not really the corporate side. So it was a good, I really like and I really don't like at the same time.
Yeah, that's great.
Some kids are crazy though.
Yeah.
There was one kid who, like, they went on a morning run, and he stole mail out of people's mailboxes, and like he came back with mail from random houses, and we like got a garden gnome once that he took too, so he had to be like especially watched, which was funny. I like him though; he's a good kid.
My question for Andrew, I've always kind of wondered about this, but not really as explicitly as right now. When you see something in the paper that says, getting paid for drinking like 15 gallons of soda a day, is that legal, or at what point does it become not legal? Like, people like get paid for these things, so they're willingly participating.
Yeah, so, all right, so in my paper about human experimentation, I talk about reasons why you would be in an experiment. And so I don't know about the drinking 15 gallons of water. That sounds safe, but usually the big thing, the soda. Usually the big thing is like if there's like a new treatment for like a disease or something, and you don't have access to the regular treatment, whether it be financial reasons or something. That human experimentation is like, okay, so maybe I'll try this new treatment. That was like, I mean, the 15 gallons of soda, I'm not so sure. I mean, I feel like that's safe. That's really up to you. Like the real thing I was talking about.
That's where the line is, like,
For-
at what point does it become illegal? Like,
Paying someone to
Oh.
not.
15 packs of cigarettes a day.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they don't like throw you in a van and then take you, like, force feed you soda, I think.
The health effects are so bad.
it is informed in a sense. So I don't know. It's just up to your judgment, I guess.
Andrew, when you were talking to, you know how you said your mother was part of the study? Did you feel kind of like hypervigilant about your behavior, knowing that she was judging your behavior? Did you feel hypervigilant about how you were acting, or did you kind of forget that she was going to be writing comments?
I feel like that balances out with her just like simply being my mother.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, yeah, she, at first maybe, okay, so here's someone who's like judging my every action. But then you start talking to her and then, like I said, you have increased irritability. And that was one thing that I didn't talk about was that I would get mad at her pretty often. You know, whether it be go clean your room or something like that. It just made me real angry all the time. And I don't know, I feel like when you're sleepy enough, there's just too many things on your mind besides. So for me, it was like, I was just sleepy, I was yawning all the time. I wasn't thinking, here's someone who's judging me. It was just my mom talking to me and me being angry at her.
Did she ask you the same questions as the interview?
No. No, it wasn't like an interview, it was